Okay.
Hi, I'm Quincy.
And I'm Dad.
And today is our last tour of Europe, and we are going to Germany.
And so this is our very first original creation. There are lots of people who collect Legos, there are people who like to create with Legos, and then there are kids who just like to build them like Quincy. I'm more of a collector, and so I don't do a whole lot of creations, but this is one of my favorite places. I haven't actually been yet, and I really want to go. This is Neuschwanstein Castle in kind of in Bavaria, close to Munich, Germany. And you may recognize this if you've seen the movie Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, which some of you haven't. It's one of our favorite movies. This is the castle, or actually the palace, in that video. And this sits way up on a hill in a very mountainous region. But one of the really cool things, if you go to a site, if you have ever heard of Mr. Carney, he has a site called Carney Castles, and he has built just about every castle I can think of all over Europe and all sorts of places in the world. He built one of these that is about 8 feet long, and it is really impressive. And that's kind of where I thought, I like the design, and he had a footprint that I was able to use to get the scale. And so I just did all of this eyeballing it, and I used that footprint that he had and then just pictures to look at everything else. Now the one tricky part, and then we'll show some close-ups later, is this back part right here is actually at a slight angle, and it's really hard to build something with an angle, and then especially right up here in this area to close up the gap and have the roof lines match. And as you can tell, I've kind of taken this apart. It's all hollow inside, like that, and this, I didn't get it secured very well, and so this just comes right off. But this is also the castle that is rumored to be the basis of the Disneyland castles, the fairy castles. And so we'll kind of go around this once. But to build most of this, all of the gray bricks, the red bricks, and the black bricks, we either got at the Lego store or through Pick-a-Brick. That can be kind of expensive doing it that way, but that's how we got them. Most of the white bricks we actually used from the Architecture Studio set. You want to grab the box, Quince? So this is set number 21050, and it has 1,210 pieces. We didn't use most of the pieces, but we used most of the bricks rather than the plates and things like that. And this set doesn't come with an instruction manual, but it has a really thick book that tells you all about architecture, talks about form, talks about light, and it talks about a couple building techniques. And that's probably again, there are no instructions really, but the building techniques are at the very end, and it talks about symmetry, talks about locking, so it doesn't fall apart like my pieces just did. It talks about sideways building, size scaling, and details alternative uses of bricks. The jumper plate is what it calls. If you don't know what a jumper plate is, that's the one that's a 1x2 plate with the spot right in the middle. And then finally it talks about building in sections. So if you ever want to become an architect, this is a really cool set, and something that can actually teach you a lot about building. One thing that the set also comes with, Quincy, you want to grab those blocks? Those boxes? So it comes with a big box. Grab the plates too. 2 little boxes, and then 2 plastic totes, so you can separate all of the pieces when you're building. Now we'll show you a couple close-up things on it.
So my dad even used my Lego bricks to build the foundation.
Okay, I'm going to try and film and talk at the same time. But back here, and you can see we kind of ran out of pieces. So right here, we have clear pieces because I ran out of black pieces to build the roof with. It's also the same reason we used these little pieces up on top, because I didn't have any roof ridge pieces. This is again the back, and you can see from up here, this is probably the best angle. You can see how this back piece right here sits at an angle compared to the rest. And here's a side view, except for we're going to film right into our lovely snow that we finally got. Here is the other side. Here's a close-up of the front. Hopefully it's focused. Okay. Turn it to get a better view of the whole castle. Now, on the real one, this white edge right here on the mountain, the white edge right here actually goes down, but I just wanted to get the main castle and kind of focus on the details that I could. It was also hard right here to match up with the blocks because it is on an angle. And Carney in his castle, he built his, if I'm looking at it correctly, he built his straight on to eliminate all those design issues. Here again you see some of the clear bricks we had to use, but this is our Neuschwanstein. It's one of my favorite castles built by King Ludwig. So this right here would be the main courtyard. Right there is a stairwell. Right here is another stairwell up. This spot right here would be where the keep was supposed to be if this was a true castle, but they never actually built the keep. And then this is the main kind of palace entrance part right there. Hope you like the tour of Europe. These are all of the sets and the original creation that we have of Europe. So we'll be moving on to something next.
And if you like this video, please subscribe if you liked it.
Aren't you going to say it?
Oh, and we'll give you a link down below where you can get the Lego pieces.
So that would be the architecture set. And we'll also leave a link down below where you can actually get onto Mr. Carney's site, carneycastles.com I believe is what it is, and you can see all of the cool creations. We'll link it to his building of Neuschwanstein, but you can actually go to his homepage and there are all sorts of cool buildings. See you later.
See you later, brick buddies.